thing. That
So what would you say your main focus is?
That's a good question right now. It's just my main focus right now is honestly pretty just like evenly spread out amongst everything right now. Probably
diversifying your income.
Yeah, pretty much that. Cause like,
and like, what would you say? Like, I don't know, if you had to narrow it down to your like top 3 to 5 revenue streams.
Prism Lens Effects.
Prism Lens. So that's the lens company you just started, right? How the hell do you start a lens company?
So random. Like we were just one day, me and Tom, we're DPs, directors. We always used to hold like different glass objects in front of our lens and stuff. And then it was just like, there's no way to mount this stuff. You have to like hold it with your hand. You can't fix it to your lens.
So what effect does that do? Putting a glass object,
just like
just different
cool
colors
cool light refractions and like bending of like ghosting of the subject in the frame, duplications, like if I move a split diopter in front of the lens, there might be like 2 of you that kind of like blur. And then so we used to always do that on like a lot of our music videos for like the Bone Thugs and Tank and what's the artist that Zach really likes? John Bellion, and just like videos like that, and even some of the Kyle stuff. But one day we were just like, there's no way to like mount this stuff. Like if you wanted to take a prism for photography or video, like there's no way to mount it, and you have to hold the glass. There's no mountable. And so we're just figuring out like, okay, how could you drill the glass without breaking it and install a mount and like mount it? And it just kind of started with a generic prism. And that's where we started when we launched 2 years ago with just a mountable triangle prism with an arm and a handle, so you could like not touch the glass and smudge it or whatever. You just hold it away. And then same thing with like a glass orb. It started with that. We launched, and then it was always like the bigger picture was like to get into like filters that screw onto the front of your lenses and stuff. Wow. So when you just kind of slowly over time, we had a 300 square foot like shared workspace warehouse in LA where we were just hand drilling these prisms and like doing all it and stuff. And then we figured out we found a company that could like mass produce them for us. So we sent them like all the Tom did a lot of the communication with like the more like he's very like film MacGyver. And so he would just like he drew up the drawings and the dimensions and all the specs and sent it to them, and then they started like mass producing it for us. But yeah, everything was just we built filters by hand by like cracking glass and finding the special glass to glue it in, putting it in a UV oven that we had built that like hardened the glass so it was crazy. It's weird to even think about. That was only like 2 years ago, but that's how we started, was just like hand making and like with this glass and this handmade UV oven and then shipping it all out of there. It was just me, Tom, and Chanel, my fiance. It was just 3 of us for like a year. And then all of a sudden like stuff just started taking off. And like we got a double the size square footage, same workspace in that same building, just like 700 square feet instead of 300. And within 4 months of being there, it just like took off, and we're like, all right, we got to figure something out. Like, and so we just closed that down and moved here, and now we have like a couple thousand square foot warehouse. You get a lot
more for your buck here.
Yeah.
Too.
Oh yeah. we have double, triple, 2.5 times the square footage, bathrooms, kitchen, office, AC, light, like
for
our own building.
1/3 the price.
For a third of the price, like, or something crazy like that. So it's plus now we have like a lot of our family. We've hired different parts of the family to go in and work, and Chanel's mom's like our email correspondence. Her sister heads up the shipping area, and then brother-in-law he does a lot of the building and the gluing and everything. So it's a
full operation.
Cool. Yeah,
just from sticking glass in a fucking oven.
Yeah,
that's what people don't realize. You got to start somewhere. You got to start somewhere, and if you have a dream and a goal and believe in it, you can turn it into anything.
So that's probably been the main priority for the last, I would say, for the last year.
And where do most of your sales come from? Is it through like
just online,
your Buff Nerds brand, or is it like you doing like social media marketing?
Yeah, like mainly social media. Like the 3 main streams, if I were to probably look it up on like the analytics, are Instagram, Facebook, and just Google.
And is that through the Buff Nerds, or is that through just running advertisements?
It's a little bit of both. Obviously, like my channels have a pretty solid following from my personal brand to the Buff Nerds, and obviously through those we're always like pushing and tagging Prism Lens Effects as our company, which is like, our company, new filter we just put out, like, and then so Instagram's like huge for us, but also like we do a good amount of Facebook advertising just to get out to the people that have no idea who we are or whatever. So
a quick word from our sponsor, Prism Lens Effects. Make sure to check them out. Where's your website?
Just prismlenseffects.com.
So prismlenseffects.com. And also, guys, the new Man Cave Carhartt hoodies just came out. Little Man Cave Carhartt collab. We only got like 100 of them, so just go to thedailydropout.com or dropoutgang.com and get your Man Cave hoodie. So that's the main revenue stream. What would you say?
That was a perfect opportunity for me to also drink the rest of that, so that was good timing.
There you go.
Yeah.
Where we at with number 2? What else you got going on?
So Tropic Color, we've been doing that for 3 or 4 years. That's just
your
like
production studio?
No, that's more like the post-editing effects and assets for like video editors and stuff.
Tropic Color?
Tropic Color. So we just make like different effects and overlays and color presets and like animation effects and stuff.
I didn't even know about this.
Yeah. So we just do that. That's like for the post-production side of stuff.
Is that
so
for
yeah,
like
Prism,
Final Cut and Adobe or both?
Yeah, for both. So it's like you have the Prism stuff. So it's like, hey, shoot your videos with our filters. Oh, then edit that video with our effects.
Okay.
So that's kind of the...
How do you go about making that? Just like graphic, like generated effects?
Graphic generated stuff. A lot of the stuff is like scanned in film. Like, so we'll shoot film, then get it processed and scanned, and then turn that into a digital asset that people can overlay on their footage. And so that it's a mixture of both digitally created stuff out of a computer, but also like hard, tangible, like film burns and grain and different things that we shoot that you can, overlay or add to your video. So
that's super interesting.
Yeah, I kind of myriad of both.
How long have you been doing that for?
That one's been like three years, 2017, end of 2016.
Starting that, do you think that's kind of what got you to kind of spin off and start the lens company? You're like, if I'm already doing effects in one way, I can do effects in
pretty much. I mean, well, kind of not really. I mean, it was just, I think the Prism thing just spawned from like one day, like just like we were using a piece of glass or prism or something. It's like, yo, there's got to be a way to mount this. And we tried to find something and there wasn't anything. And so I was like, aha. I think that's where anything comes from. Like a good idea is like a problem that you have and there's no solution. You're like, okay, I'm going to make this. Like if I'm having this problem, other people have to be having this problem. And that's where I think a lot of like good ideas come from is, if you think there's something that doesn't exist or there is something that doesn't exist and you need it, and then other people will probably need it too. So yeah, those two things. Tropic Color hasn't been as much a priority just because like Prism Lens Effect, doing that whole like, building that kind of company up and then the huge move and getting the people in place. That's a lot of work. It's been a lot of work. So, but it's fun too. I just like building stuff. Just
like doing shit.
You get such gratification in like things, seeing something go from nothing to
creating.
Yeah. So it's just like creating a video from start to finish. Like seeing that thing in its final product is just like so rewarding, and it's like kind of the same thing, just a much longer and harder process than making a video.
Definitely.
But yeah, so that's
awesome, man. And then you got the film studio stuff.
Yeah.
Are you still doing that?
Yeah, that one's kind of been crazy because that's all been within like a year and a half. And so, I mean, like I said, I was living with Dee and a couple other friends in LA, and we had a house, but me and Chanel were starting to get a lot more serious. She's coming in town all the time, and like we're in this tiny room in a house with like 5 guys, and it was like I had enough money to buy a house anyway, so it was just like, all right. It kind of looked at it as like I wanted to open up a film space, but also like this is a perfect opportunity for us to get our own space that then we can like rent out for people to shoot in or whatever.
So you were living in it, and then you had a bunch of rooms where people could film as well?
Yeah, so technically I bought the house in LA, but with the mindset of like we're gonna decorate this to be like a place people want to come shoot in.
That's so smart, because you're filming stuff all the time. You're probably renting your own studio.
I use my stuff all the time.
I can pay the mortgage just off the saving the money from
this
all
video.
These shoots.
Yeah. So we bought the house, turned it into like a 70s kind of show where it's just like vintage, and just because like vintage stuff is pretty hot right now, and I just know a lot of being in the industry, I know that's like a look that everyone's going for. But doing it, I was just like, dude, what if nobody wants to shoot here?
Yeah, your house is just decorated like this.
I'm spending all this money, time, and energy to buy this place, build it out to be this throwback 70s spot, and no one shoots here.
Yeah, right.
That was like
just gonna have to turn it into like a disco pad or something.
But no,
that's part of it, man. That's part of the process.
Taking those risks. And so that popped off and started doing so well. And me and Chanel were headed to like a flea market. And as a joke, she was just kind of like, it's called Honeymoon Hideout. She's like, Honeymoon's been doing so well. We should get another one. And I was like, yeah, we should. And in the car on the way to the flea market, I just was like on Zillow. And I knew I always wanted like a desert film ranch location. So I just went out to the desert and I just started like pinching and zooming around and changing parameters. And within that drive, I found the spot that I was like, Chanel, this is it. And she's like, I was joking. Like, I'm not
Dude,
serious.
That sounds like me and my wife.
Yeah,
seriously. Like, don't joke about that stuff. I'll do it.
Yeah. And so I literally called and I was like, hey, can I like set up a time to come see this place? Like, super interested in it. And so I went and saw it. It was the weekend. It was like Saturday. So I went and saw it Monday. And then I put in an offer Tuesday, and I had it within the week. Like, it went so fast.
And you're like, Chanel, no more jokes.
Yeah. But same thing with that. Like, it was an hour and a half outside of LA. I was like, what if no one wants to shoot here? I had big plans and visions for it. I already knew, though. The thing I kind of always go back to is, if I would want to shoot here, I know other people would want to shoot here. And so that was kind of my main thing going through it. Like, okay, no, I know I would want to shoot stuff here. So I would use this. So I know other people want to use it. And so the Eclectic West was born, and that's been another spot. And then after that, my buddy Tom, who's my business partner in like Prism and Tropic and all this stuff, was just like, yo, I want to open a spot with you. And so then we did the Barracks Warehouse. Then we just got this other studio. And now I'm working on one with Zach in Arizona Mills.
You're working on 5 film studios.
Yeah. Chanel does all the because I wouldn't be able to handle all that. She does all the like bookings, Peerspace and stuff. But yeah, right now I think we have 4 going on what will be 5. Yeah. But that's all been within the last year and a half.
Holy shit.
Yeah, because I bought Honeymoon last January, February, like last March. So yeah, it's been about like a year and a half or so.
Jakob Owens killing it in the film and media space, dude. Congratulations on it. That's huge.
Thank you, dude.